Quite famously, your character being stuck in a T-pose is a bad omen in video games, touting claims of glitches and bugs. But 2AT has decided to throw those norms straight into the bin and create a game so full of whimsy that every song, minigame and conversation will have you sat there with a grin on your face. But does the game strike the correct poses, or does it leave you wanting more? Before I answer that question, head over to patreon.com/idreamofIndies, where you'll gain Discord access to the greatest indie game community, enjoy early ad-free shows, receive our new podcast 3 days early, get a shout out at the end of every video we produce, and even more. But best of all, you'll be supporting indie visibility. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. 2AT has you playing as a freshly 13-year-old in a relatively normal town, if we pretend all normal towns have giraffes running the local cafes. And this 13-year-old just so happens to have arms that are stuck outright in a T pose. You'll follow Teen, a name you can change by the way, as they try to go through their normal life with this unusual condition, going to school, eating, brushing their teeth and the rest of life's normal activities. The game plays out like a TV show, with every episode starting upon the finding of a numbered balloon and punctured by the game's theme song and secondary interval song about the aforementioned giraffe. Subsequently, the gameplay is very linear. You must wake up, choose an outfit from your wardrobe, which your dog helps you put on, wash your face, eat your breakfast, brush your teeth, and then head off to school. Though I will say all but getting dressed can be skipped after the first day, so you don't have to spend precious time repeating tasks. Thanks to the linearity of the game, progression is incredibly simple. There is no levelling up or skill trees to consider, you simply do as the game tells you can each day, and experience the events of these episodes in exactly the order they wish you to. Story-wise, 2AT is more than a little wacky. Sometimes life is strange, and you perhaps foresee an incoming disaster right at the top of the game, and sometimes, just sometimes, said disaster might come true after a series of strange happenings. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case in this game, but we do kick things off running away from a massive tornado, so go figure. As each episode progresses, things do start to go a little wrong for our little town, i.e. wind turbines almost crushing the school and so on. And as these things start to happen, our character discovers that due to their unique frame, they are able to fly through the air by spinning as fast as they can, and subsequently must become an unlikely hero. The story also focuses on our protagonist's struggle to fit in a world not designed for them, from difficulties participating in lessons to bullying from fellow teens. But as the song suggests, our protagonist is the perfect shape for what the town needs. The cast of characters in the game are in their own way as quirky as our protagonist. From our mum, who's hiding a secret from us, to our dark magic-obsessed bully, to our chronically single science teacher, all the way to our incredibly chill about the fact that we can fly PE teacher. Throughout the story, you're given plenty of opportunities to explore the town, participate in Giraffe's food-based mini-games, and collect the many coins dotted about the map, which can be used to buy new clothes, shoes, and more goes on those mini-games. Taking time to do these things outside of the narrative doesn't necessarily help you progress in any way. It's just things to make our experience even more fun and a little more silly. There are 2 main songs in the game that play during each main story segment, one at the top of each episode and one partway through, as an almost interval before we carry on our day. Both are full 2-minute long songs and don't change as the story progresses, so despite how jaunty and fun they are to listen to, you will maybe find yourself skipping them in favour of getting back to the main game. Outside of those songs, the town's different areas each have their own tunes, which your character will occasionally whistle to, and are distinctly different in vibe and energy to one another, making running or unicycling through town still a jolly experience every time you're allowed to do so. The action in the story is also uplifted by the game's sound design, and the quirkiness is pushed even further by the almost Simlish style language all of our characters speak. The game was designed by Keita Takahashi, the mind behind the brilliant Katamari Damacy, and Katamari's energy is oozing out of every pore in the game, from its quirky cast of characters to its colourful art style and of course the jaunty tunes that pull it all together. One thing that is worth mentioning is that despite its colourful art style, the game may not be suitable for most children. Not in subject matter, but in the difficulty of many of the minigames. Now, you don't need to succeed at any of them to progress the story, and that is great, but I worry about whether some children may find it difficult to even understand what they are supposed to do in the first place. Heck, even I failed the vast majority of them, and I have a fully developed frontal lobe. That being said, the bulk of the gameplay is as simple as getting from point A to point B and completing minigames or exploring locations. The game is best played with a controller and will hopefully be Steam Deck compatible in the very near future. Overall, the game plays very well, and the only bug I encountered was during one of Giraffe's minigames where some of the text was clearly not correct, but these are minimal issues that I am sure will be fixed on launch. The game gives you a plethora of visual filters you can apply if you fancy pixelating everything, playing with the disco lights on, or throwing it back to your youth and pretending to play your game on a CRT TV. I do have to say I was disappointed by the amount of accessibility options. Aside from making the spinning mechanic a simple button press, there is no option for those of us who may need additional support to game, nor any way to change the default difficulty level. Overall, I don't know if it'll reach the cosmical heights of Katamari Damacy, but I do believe 2 will find a very positive reception from its players with just how unique its premise and execution are. If you love whimsy like I do, then I am sure you, like me, will enjoy your time with 2. It's goofy, it's quirky, it's amazing how inaccessible this school is for their student with T-arms, and it has an awful lot of charm. If you're searching for a colourful, light, easy on the brain game to sink a good few hours into, then 2 should definitely be on your list. Its charming narrative and incorporation of a very cute dog, who I personally named Nigel, will definitely have you smiling for its entire runtime. And that is why 2 has earned itself a Silver Genie lamp of approval.
Change PJ, I want to dry my face, I want to use a